Christian convert Rifqa Bary is in court again, trying to prevent a judge from forcing her to go back home to live with her parents who are Muslim. Her parents, however, equally busy in court, filing criminal complaints against their daughter and attempting to prevent her from receiving Christmas cards.
Joining us now with the latest developments is Rifqa's case, is John Stemberger, one of her attorneys. Good morning, John. Thanks for being here.
Good morning. Merry Christmas. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. You too. We understand that Child Services has signed a plan for Rifqa to be returned to her parents. Tell us about it.
No, that's not correct. Basically, there are several things that happened at yesterday's hearing. There was a motion to prevent her from having any Christmas cards or any third-party communications. That motion was withdrawn. I think they thought it was so untenable and unreasonable, as we all know that it is. They just simply didn't want to embarrass themselves in front of the court. Secondly, they also filed a motion to hold Rifqa in contempt of court for failing to wanting to counsel with a Muslim male who was also counseling Rifqa's parents. And the court also denied that motion. She does not have to counsel with that particular individual. She had some very sensitive things in her past, and she felt very uncomfortable with a male, let alone someone of a different faith. And then finally, she was going to be, they were attempting to force her into a mediation situation with her parents to resolve the issues without lawyers present. And so the court obviously denied that motion as well. And a motion to stop any third-party communications was also denied. So yesterday was a good day for Rifqa. And you know, what's really unfortunate here is that the parents over and over again keep saying, well, we love our daughter, we want to have her back, we want her to practice her faith, but there's an inherent duplicity in all that because everything that they do is against that. They're filing contempt motions, criminal cases against her. They're filing these motions to prevent her from getting communications from people that love her. So there's a duplicity there between what they're doing and what they're saying.
So you're saying too that you know, they want the parents are filing motions to get her held in contempt of court for refusing these counseling sessions. Are you saying, John, that you don't think that she should be in a counseling session with her parents?
Oh, absolutely. There should be counseling. There should be counseling first separately and then together if that's possible. The problem here is that the parents are doing everything they can to show hostility and not trying to show anything that they really want. They want to see her and be a part. And so that's a problem. And when you file criminal charges against your own daughter, when you ask the court to hold her in contempt of court, those are not welcoming signs where, you know, a daughter would say, I want to be back with my parents.
So, John, what's the bottom line here? Is there a possibility that Rifqa could have to go home to her parents?
It's possible if they lose the dependency case, but it seems very unlikely because the issue here is there a conflict between the child and the parents? And there obviously is a conflict. And you asked me what the bottom line is. That's a great question. I think the bottom line here, and something that's really underlying this whole case, is that Rifqa's parents' attorneys, both here in Orlando, initially they had qualified court-appointed counsel, and in both cases, in both Ohio and Florida, they fired those qualified lawyers and hired lawyers who were Muslims that had ties with CARE and the Islamic Mosque. And so there's a conflict of interest. If you're being paid for by a third party, that's a problem.
John Stemberger, thanks so much for sharing the story. We're going to be tracking it all the way to its fruition. Thanks, John. Have a great Christmas.
Thanks, John.